We just got so much crazy Marvel news today, from a Miles Morales casting for Spider-Man Brand New Day to how Sam Wilson's going to build up his team of Avengers, plus a director and possible castings for the new X-Men movie in the MCU. We got to talk about all of this and more. We're going to start off with the one that's been the most controversial online, which is how Sam Wilson's new Avengers is going to be formed in Avengers Doomsday. We now have a report from a very reputable insider that Sam Wilson will be recruiting his Avengers off-screen in the MCU, and they're just going to be a formed team already in Avengers Doomsday, and people are complaining about this, saying, hey, there's been no build up to this Avengers Doomsday thing, like we're not building up Doctor Doom, we're not building up that dynamic between Avengers, and people are saying this is going to be a mess. But I kind of feel like I'm going crazy. Does nobody remember the fact that in the OG 2012 Avengers movie, pretty much all of these guys were meeting each other for the first time and becoming a team in this film itself? They weren't all together before this movie, even though you had some Nick Fury cameos and teasing it. It's like established that, like, oh, some characters like Black Widow and Hawkeye or Black Widow and Hulk have had previous connections before, but you just get all that explained to you through dialogue. You don't really see that in the MCU before this film, and yet everybody comes together and forms a good team. And I'd argue that a lot of the characters that are going to be on Sam Wilson's Avengers teams already have more interactions than most of those heroes we saw in the first Avengers movie, like Ant-Man, Hulk, Shang-Chi, War Machine. Not all of these characters know each other, but they have interacted before. And the Russo brothers have straight up said that Avengers Doomsday is likely going to be around 2.5 hours. Imagine if they spent like the first 30 minutes of the film of Sam Wilson going around recruiting Avengers. People will be so mad watching that. I think this is a fine decision. Before I get to the next one, hit that like button and let me know your thoughts on this point. Are you happy that he's recruited them off screen, or do you think it should be shown in the MCU? Next, let's get to the X-Men news, because there is a lot to cover here. Now, a few days ago when we had this big report from the Wall Street Journal about Kevin Feige doing this big overhaul, in that report, they confirmed that Kevin Feige has been talking at Marvel Studios about a big 10-year plan for the X-Men in the MCU after Avengers Secret Wars. So they are like the next big team, the big focus of Marvel going forward. He's pretty much staking the future of the MCU on this new X-Men team we're going to see. Now, this is from Deadline, which is as official as it gets. We know that Marvel Studios is heavily considering having Jake Schreier direct the new X-Men movie in the MCU. And if you don't know who he is, he just directed the Thunderbolts movie. Now, Thunderbolts is not doing crazy numbers at the box office or anything. It's not going to be $1 billion film. But what's important is that this is a very good movie that a lot of people and audiences are connecting with. Like, everybody that has seen it seemed to love this. It's bringing back that old classic MCU feeling while also bringing something new and fresh that we haven't really seen before. Honestly, the way that the Thunderbolts team dynamic and mental health and everything is covered in this movie gives me full faith that Jake Schreier would be a great choice to direct the X-Men movie. Like, he knows how to handle a team, obviously. The X-Men obviously deal with a lot of real life important issues, and I think this guy's proved that he can do it. I'd be perfectly fine with him directing the next X-Men movie in the MCU. And alongside this news, we have some rumored castings, or at least who they're finalizing for certain roles, and Trinity Jolie Bliss is reportedly in the mix for Jubilee. Now, you might be wondering, who on earth is this actress? Now, she really hasn't been in anything notable whatsoever besides Avatar: The Way of Water, and she's going to be in the next 2 or 3 Avatar movies, we know that for sure. And I like this casting rumor for a couple reasons. First of all, I kind of like going for more like smaller name, lesser known actors in these X-Men roles. It's going to give a whole new group of people a big chance to have their breakout roles instead of the stars we see in everything. And also, this actress is only 15 right now, so even if they make the MCU X-Men movie in like 3 years, she'll still be only 18, and obviously Jubilee is going to be one of the younger X-Men no matter what, but this is a good sign that we're probably going to see a bunch of the X-Men in like their early 20s, younger versions of these characters. We're not going to have like 90-year-old Patrick Stewart in these movies anymore, which, don't get me wrong, he was incredible. Ian McKellen, great, and I'm happy they're coming back for Doomsday, but having like 90-year-old X-Men is kind of ridiculous. But like, especially since it seems like this is the 10-year plan for Marvel, I'm very glad that we're going to be starting with a younger X-Men team and watching them all grow together, become stronger, a better team, the chemistry grow over the years. I'm really excited for the potential of this X-Men movie. And again, before we get to the next Spider-Man Brand New Day news, make sure to drop a like on this video if you didn't the first time. What are you doing? Now to some Spider-Man Brand New Day news, because we got a new casting announcement. This is 100% official. Like, she is in the film. Eliza Colon-Zayas has been cast in Spider-Man Brand New Day, and you might be saying, what on earth is this? Who is she going to be playing? Why is this a big deal? Hear me out on this. Because Eliza Colon-Zayas is a Puerto Rican actress. Now, who is a big Puerto Rican Spider-Man Spider-Man character that everybody has been hoping to see in the MCU for a long time. I hope you guessed Miles Morales, because yeah, there's obviously no other choice of who this could be. And everybody is speculating that Liza Colon-Zayas is actually going to be playing Rio Morales, his mother, in this film. Doesn't mean we're going to get Miles in this movie, or at least him as a superpowered version of himself, but we're going to be setting this up for the next trilogy, likely. This kind of lines up. If you remember from a few years ago when Spider-Man No Way Home came out on digital in a bunch of different languages, in the Brazil version, the Brazil dub of this movie, at the very end, when you see Peter in his apartment, you can hear a neighbor saying the name Miles, and everybody was like, oh my god, this is someone that lives in the same apartment complex, and they're talking to someone named Miles. We're so much setting up Miles Morales right here. Like I said, I genuinely would be shocked at this point if in this movie with this new casting, we don't see Miles and Rio at some point. Like I said, they're probably just going to be like neighbor figures that he bumps into in the hallway once or twice, but after one of them introduces themselves as Miles or something, the crowd's going to go insane. And imagine if in like the post-credit scene for this movie, Miles gets bitten by the spider, because honestly, I feel like they're going to want to get Miles Morales involved in Secret Wars with Peter, especially if we're going to see Peter get the symbiote in Secret Wars or in Spider-Man Brand New Day somehow, and then you have Miles kind of there not being affected by the symbiote. That would actually be really cool. A little similar to the Spider-Man 2 PS5 video game, but hey, that game was peak. I'd be happy with it. And if you want to hear about an actor from Avengers Doomsday straight up just spoiling a major fight scene that gives us a lot of insight into the plot of the film, click the video above my head right now. It's a banger. Thank you so much for watching.